Welcome, everyone, to the Real Whovians cast. I am your host, Matrixlord212, and I'm with Scott. What's up, Scott?
Deja vu all over it again.
There we go. So we were talking on the freestyle cast. We just started talking about Doctor Who, because it happens. And, Murray Gold. The Series 9 and Series 10 would love to get that.
Yes.
And
his, it's like he was made for Doctor Who. If he could have been around for the original, you can just imagine how much of an improvement, I don't say improvement, but how much he would be able to have brought to that those old series. But like I was saying in the last cast, is I'm slowly starting to believe that Moffat probably pissed somebody off at the BBC or whoever held the licenses for, this is just a premise.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, held the licenses for certain characters from the original Doctor Who. So they thought, we're not going to allow you to use X, Y, Z. They weren't going to. They're not like they weren't coming out saying it's because of Moffat, blah blah blah. They said we're not going to allow you to use X, Y, Z. And
you know what they should do.
Believe that.
You know how Russell T Davies cared about his people, and when Sarah Jane Smith Adventures ended, he created a show not for BBC to make money, whatever. But so his people would have jobs, wizards versus aliens. Out of the bull, pulled a rabbit out of his, and just made this show so his people would have a job, right? The opposite is with Moffat. Because with Moffat, people lose their job left and right. I mean, companies close, and it's ridiculous. So what he should do, right, Moffat, because he did, I feel, Murray Gold wrong. He should hire him for the Dracula soundtrack. Let him do.
He would be good for Dracula.
Yes. Murray Gold for Mark Gatiss and Moffat's Dracula.
Yes.
Take care of him financially well. Say, listen, dude, I effed up. I kind of held you back. You know what? Shades are off.
I'm throwing you
Here's some money. Please make me look good. Make me look like Russell T Davies looked. With the way you did that stuff, please.
And that's what Chibnall's going to have to do when the series is on hiatus or off the air.
Because I want to see Dracula.
Yes.
And I definitely want Capaldi in Dracula, in some capacity. Yeah, they could even have Michelle Gomez in there too.
Ooh, yes.
She could, they could dress like she's the mother of Nina and whatever, and it would be ridiculous.
Or I hate saying this, they could get her to be the bride.
Well, they could be married to each other.
Yeah.
Peter
Or she
Capaldi
could be the
married
bride of Frankenstein.
Who knows? But just think, we're gonna have a Moffat verse now, but a Moffat monster verse,
which is probably going to be better than. And that was the problem with the last movie, is the Tom Cruise. They made it more of an action adventure.
I don't know what the hell they're trying to do with that shit. That was weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, Capaldi, I miss, man. I got to tell you, I'm hurting. He was awesome. It's not his fault with the weird shit,
I still, it just hacks me off the fact that many people who the only doctor that was given an animated specials was David Tennant. Can you imagine what the?
Yes.
We've seen meh-looking animated things afterwards, but still, to have an animated thing for Matt Smith, for Capaldi, for example. It would be great. I would love to. And they could have thrown those things out between seasons anyway. So.
You know what I would do? If they really want to do a proper Christmas special.
Oh, yes.
For Doctor Who, have the new High Council of Gallifrey, right? Go listen to this. This is what I would do. The High Council of Gallifrey, right? They're in power. They embrace the Doctor. They go to Jodie Whittaker's doctor. They say, look, she's on Earth, and while they're there, they're respecting the customs of Earth. And they said, listen, it's Christmas, and you saved Gallifrey I don't know how many times. We recognize your efforts. come to Gallifrey. She goes to Gallifrey. They see they have a statue of Clara there. Because if it wasn't for Clara, she wouldn't have convinced him not to push the button, whatever, right? So they say, this is what we're going to do. For one night, you're going to be able to degenerate into your other selves. And each incarnation, past couple incarnations, in fact, you go back as far as, say, the 10th, because that was the thing with the button. Whoever was going to push the button, like the 10th, the 11th, you know, and Capaldi would be part of that too. We're going to grant a wish for...
The doctor's wish.
For, you know, Capaldi's doctor, Matt Smith's doctor, and David Tennant's doctor. Whatever you want, you saved Gallifrey, we're going to do that, right? So they show her, and this is how, you know, they could have an extra episode where she didn't have to have time to do it, and they could do it with the past doctors. So you have it like a weird Cinderella thing that by midnight you would have to get the wish and then regenerate again, right? So she degenerates, and then it goes backwards to Capaldi. Capaldi wants Clara alive with Danny Pink on Earth, out of the Nethersphere. He does that. They do that, right? Then he becomes...
Pink on back on the couch.
Yes. Then he becomes... Right. Then he becomes Matt Smith's doctor, and he saves the Ponds.
Yep.
Right?
There you go. Yep. I knew
then
where you were going.
He becomes David Tennant, and he restores Donna Noble.
Yes.
And then, you know, it goes right back
to Jodie.
In order, though. No, David Tennant, Matt Smith. And it'll be like a weird thing, like they were generating, they're talking, like, oh, this is weird, and everything. And then it's Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah.
And then Jodie Whittaker will get a wish, you know, in the end. Whatever happens that we don't know what she's looking for, you know. And that would be the perfect Christmas episode.
Go.
A multi-doctor story episode, right? And that would be awesome. Okay? But then what would happen is, you know, you could have a thing like if you really wanted to make it big, like I'm talking big budget, you could have William Hartnell's doctor, which probably played by David Bradley, find Susan. Then you could do Patrick Troughton's companions, their memories are not erased.
Yeah.
You know, then you could do so much with each doctor, different things. And I think that would be freaking
I saw where you were going with that right the minute you said degenerate into yada yada. And yep, I knew exactly.
And then the following year, you get more creative.
Yes.
You say that there's like some entity that's taking the form of past doctors to make them like evil. Like we were saying, like some type of thing. You could make a weird name like the Gremliform or something, whatever the gremlin type, not gremlins, but like some type of whatever that he just morphs or whatever, and just like have Jodie Whittaker have to face off against like, you know, Sylvester McCoy, like, or something. Like it would be interesting, you know. But just why can't your imagination run wild? Why is there rules? There doesn't have to be rules.
No,
just have fun. She should be able to go in the TARDIS, right? They should be able to hook her up. There should be a room in the TARDIS. You could call, I mean, it's not the zero room. It's another room.
I know, but I'm just saying it's similar to
where she could be hooked up to the TARDIS, but like versions of herself, but older or whatever, could be like counseling her. Like it would be like a data bank, like holograms. Like you could have Colin Baker talking to her about something, or because you know what it is, it could be a thing that her mind can't house the memories. Like when she was the fourth Doctor, he says a certain time there's too many memories in there, you got to like erase stuff. So instead of erasing it, the TARDIS created this device that all the memories go in there, and it's never erased. And stuff will pop up like, what am I facing? Oh, you faced this when you were 400 years old. And then there goes the Doctor popping out.
I got you one up. Got you one more. We go that route. We set that up. All right. And that whole notion of the evil entity that's inside the TARDIS, at either during a Christmas episode or a New Year's episode, takes over the avatars of those very doctors, and that's what she faces.
Oh, you know what? Even one better. The evil entity is Omega, because he already took the Fifth Doctor's form. So he, with the DNA,
that's right.
He's becoming that.
Mm-hmm.
How great would that be?
Mm-hmm. But they give hints as though everybody thinks, "Oh, it's the Valyard that's doing it," but it turns out to be Omega.
Right. That would be awesome. Another thing that we never got was the cat fight with Martha Jones and Rose Tyler. Like that whole tension, missed opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Where we never had them have a conversation with each other. Never came out. The tension, all that stuff. Just imagine if they face each other now. Martha Jones is with her former boyfriend. You imagine? And then she's with the doctor, David Tennant, but Martha liked it. So that would be an amazing story. Not that they would have to be enemies, because of course they'd be friends in the end. Like Sarah Jane and Rose, there was some tension there, right? That would be unfreaking believable.
And like I said, the one thing I thought was funny about that episode is you see them all three walking out that door, and the doctor just instinctively hands it to Sarah, and Sarah's instinctively grabbing for it. But you also see Rose reaching for it too. I thought when I saw that scene when they were walking out the door, I said that would be cool if they did that. And bam, that actually happened.
And you know what would be even better? By the end of this season, right? All the companions are alive, and they go their separate ways. And she doesn't even have a moment to have. And you know who shows up? The Paternoster gang at the end. And how fitting and how much of a fit would that be, right? To have Madame Vastra in the TARDIS with Jodie Whittaker.
Yes.
And Jenny and Strax. And then, boom, what the hell is next season going to be like, right? So they could be the companions, and so could Osgood. Osgood could be a companion.
Here we go. What they could leave it off with, they could do the perfect cliffhanger, all right? They don't show the monitor, but yet they all of them are looking at it, and you could tell by the expressions on their face that, oh, we're screwed. But at the same time, it's like, oh God, they know who this person is because they faced them in the past.
Right. And they could also have Osgood, because that's a missed opportunity, right? They could use Osgood. As strong as she is and a scientist or whatever, she's got emotional trauma baggage that the doctor has to be like a motherly role to her, consoling her, being there for her.
I'd be quite honest, I'd love to see the actress that plays Osgood with the Fourth Doctor, so she does have the whole Fourth Doctor.
Right. You could do that. You definitely could do that, but also do the fact that
I know.
They play off on this subplot that they created. There was a subplot that they created when she was introduced, that she had a twin sister that might have been like a supermodel or something and was very successful while she was a scientist. She had asthma. The other one did not, right? And they always talked about that. And then they didn't say anything about it. And then it was like, oh my God, my Zygon sister died. And they didn't, they scrapped the whole thing. They didn't say anything. But she could be, by her always wearing stuff that the doctor wears, she's trying to find her own identity, right? And by being with the doctor as a companion, the doctor's trying to get her out of mimicking her. Yeah. And by the end of her being a companion, she's dressed the way she wants to be dressed without the doctor. And maybe she'll have like a little pin or a scarf or something. Yeah. But whatever. But she's her own person, right? Yeah. She's not, totally.
She's not mimicking whichever
doctor's around. And that would be a nice, evolution of that. But like I said before, and I think some people liked it, if I was writing for Jodie Whittaker, I would throw the kitchen sink at her right away. Because here's the thing. Sometimes you can't have any moment for the audience to think. You should not have a period where, oh, they're going here, I'm going to go get a snack. It should be a situation where you can't even leave the couch because you don't know what's going to happen. So right away,
the only part of the couch you're at is behind the couch because it's like
right. But the thing is, boom! I would have her. She's falling. She falls. Missy's there as a cop. They arrest her. She puts her in a straitjacket. All these things show up, and an alien race shows up. They're going to destroy the Earth. She's got to get out of the mental institution. The guy, Bradley Walsh, gets her out of there. Then his companion, she's got to protect these people here. And then, Missy goes off, does her thing. And then there's this threat, whatever. And then boom, And then at the end, she's picking her outfit.
If they're going to do these things as though the series is going to be linked to each other, that would be a good way of linking each episode.
But at the end, you do the famous scene where you have somebody composes nice music or use a nice famous song, and she's in the TARDIS trying to try on stuff. Yeah. Like she got the TARDIS back, and they're doing that famous "What am I going to wear" type of thing. Yeah. Like David Tennant that time, he had the scarf around his neck, the different thing. She could be having all these weird outfits on, and then she just comes, at the end, that's what she's going to be.
She could hold up a bow tie and go, that's not me.
No, she could say, they're still cool, but not me. Yeah. And then,
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, just tosses it over.
She could have a ridiculous, remember how Tom Big had ridiculous outfits?
Yes.
She could have a ridiculous outfit, and she could have a guitar. She could look like a punk band from the 80s, and then no, that's not me. Yes. Just for show, for an action figure.
Holds up a celery stick and go, I'm no longer allergic to that.
No, but you have fun with it where you can make action figures of she tries on 4 different things. It looks absolutely ridiculous.
And there you go.
And there's your action figure, right? And you're like, okay, and you take it marketing wise too.
Yes.
While you're doing the episode, and the audience gets a laugh because they're like, oh my God, remember when she wore that?
Yes.
And it's yeah. And then she can have another thing where she has gold chains on. She looks like a rapper. It would be ridiculous. What
and there's the whole rap sign and all that.
Right. It's just weird. I'm just saying you got to have comedy elements in there, but you also have to have the seriousness of the alien threat. You can't have it where it's a joke where someone dies that can be brought back. There are consequences.
And you don't use regeneration energy every time.
No more. They should have an ADREC consequence, meaning they die.
Yeah.
Okay? Yes, after a while, time to come back, you got the point where you're like, oh, the Ponds, they didn't really need to die because he could have just parked the thing in Jersey and whatever.
Yeah.
It's stupid. And the fact that Capaldi was trying to fix it means that that's stupid too. Moffat had it in his head, but he never did it. Why not? So, don't kill off people. Just, have fun with it. You don't have to have this storyline where the whole universe is going to get destroyed. It could just be Earth, or it could be a town, or it could be a state. You don't need the biggest threat known to man. Oh my God, I saved the universe 1,000,000 times. How about stop saving the universe for once every 5 years or something? What?
Yeah, look how they set up the town called Mercy. That wasn't a threat to the whole universe.
It sucked, but it wasn't. It wasn't
it wasn't a threat to the whole planet. It was a threat towards that one town.
I mean, we got the egg, Mork and Mindy type of thing in that, which was interesting. But yeah, man, I would love to see. And you know what? Why does it have to be rules?
There shouldn't be.
Why can't you? Okay, Jodie Whittaker's contract, she's supposed to do 10 a year. But if we want to do an episode or two, a special thing, get a classic Doctor, man. What's the big effing deal? You know what? Listen, they should think, okay, you know what? We lost money. They should really think about the financial aspect.
Bingo.
And they should say, we lost money when we only had 2 episodes out the whole year, or Dr. Mysterio. So we are, instead of putting our money towards a new show, millions, like Atlantis and stuff that time or whatever, right? We're going to do it where it's a different project. It's going to be Doctor Who, but it's going to be named differently. So we could have it legal that we put it in
a Star Wars tale.
Right, like a Doctor Who saga. Who saga. You could call it Doctor Who saga, and then you could show unknown episodes.
Yeah.
With the past Doctors, and you can do Doctor Who.
Considering his missing episodes.
You can do Doctor Who Saga season 1, and then you have David Tennant. You're like, wow, this is what he did before he went to Earth with the Ood, and with the Master and everything like that. You know, you could do Matt Smith because after and you have it with him and River in the beginning where he's miserable, whatever. He does an adventure with her, then he goes up here, and then he goes to Victorian era and retires. You know, like whatever or something. You know, they could do so much stuff.
God, yes.
They could have did a freaking massive Weeping Angel storyline where he's just angry and just goes after them, and it's like, and River knows that if he gets to a point where he could snap, she knows about the Valyard.
Yeah.
You could have it that River knows about the Valyard.
Yeah.
And she's kind of being the hero.
I thought of a great Valyard episode, too.
But she reels him in. Like, she has to be the one to stop the Doctor because he's going too far.
Because remember, Donna said at one particular time, in that one special episode, that he needs to be traveling with somebody.
Oh, I have a question for you. Because I want to see how good I am at pointing stuff out by color schematics. The Doctor Who magazine on your TV is Pearl Mackey, right? Right there. Right there. Okay. On your TV. Move over to your right. Right there. Right there. That's Pearl Mackey, right?
Yep.
Wow. Look at that. See? Show the camera. Show the cover. See how good am I with that?
Yes.
Okay, just by the color, I knew what the cover was Doctor Who magazine was. All right, thank you, Scott. I'm sorry.
I didn't know what you're talking about.
Wow. Okay. I'm good, man. All right. Well, that's because I get freaking tons and tons of Doctor magazines.
Another thing is, this is mentioning that I mentioned one time it would be great because I think it was a TV Guide episode. I said, boy, it would be great to have this particular episode, or it might have been even Doctor Who magazine. I forget if it's TV Guide or Doctor Who. But I said, boy, it'd be great to have the one with that issue with that cover.
Yeah.
Boom. That was the one that came.
Wow.
I forget, like I said, I don't remember if it was Doctor Who or TV Guide.
See, when I talk about Doctor Who and what could be, what they could do, the possibilities are endless.
But like I said, I thought of a great River song, Valyard thing. And it basically went that she arrives on a planet and she hears that the Doctor's there helping out with a trade negotiation. And she thought that's kind of strange. Because the way she remembered it, the Doctor the Doctor had nothing to do with this trade negotiation. Yes, he was there, but it was like months or years after it had been implicated. She walks in and she recognized the Valyard who's going by the Doctor. Okay. And so she goes to kill him. But that was the particular moment when the Time Lords took him out of the time stream in order to be the Sixth Doctor's prosecutor. And they always said she killed a great man. So,
well, they answered that already.
I know they answered it, but this was before they answered it.
Right.
I came up with this notion before they actually answered it.
Right.
But that was the whole idea, is that she had attempted to kill the Valyard. He was going under the notion of the name of the Doctor.
Right.
And since she couldn't really reveal where she hid the body, she was tried for killing a great man, which was the Valyard.
I thought of this whole thing I wrote out, right, like a synopsis and everything. They should do a River song special, right, where Clara is like a mercenary bounty hunter for hire, and the Clara I'm talking about is the one that was looking at David Tennant, where she had like a blaster or something next to her and she's watching over him in the name of the Doctor, where she's at the library when he leaves, and they have the whole scene where she's like in the bedroom and with the kids and she has the diary. Like, in other words, she gets her out of the library. But because of the timeline, they leave an imprint in there, her. But she's really out, like in other words. And they use the whole thing would be like she's trying to get cargo of the nanites, and she bumps into Captain Jack, and she battles Captain Jack. I'm talking about Clara.
Yeah.
They're fighting, they're battling, and she erases his memory. For 2 years, they're battling. And you see, 5 months, 10 months, a year, she gets a hold of the cargo. She gets half the cargo, which she only needed a certain percentage, right? She takes it. She puts the other one on the ship. She erases his memory, because remember he had 2 years of his life missing?
Yeah.
Because she didn't want him to remember or get a paradox with her. And then it, boom, starts off where he's going after the nanites that crashes into Earth for the empty child.
Yep.
And that would be perfect, because then she would use the nanites to restore River Song's body, so that way River Song could go back in there. And that would be awesome.
I came up with 2 ideas for a Dr. Donna adventure where they met a Time Lord. Mm-hmm. Okay, we'd use the same actor, but at a different point in time. The first one is they're at some little gala of socialites, debutantes, and blah, blah, blah. And these terrorists, for whatever reason, break in. And the unknown Time Lord, there's subtle comments made.
Right.
Like, they question the Doctor's tutelage, and he makes some comment, like Prydonian and the unknown Time Lord.
I'm here. Just give me a second. Yeah. Okay. I'm listening.
And makes a comment of, oh, that sounds treacherous, or something like that. At the end, at the very end, you see this unknown Time Lord radioing, going, I found him, but he's changed. And he steps into either an out-of-order elevator or a storage closet that no one can find a key to. Now, the second idea, they arrive on an alien planet. And this unknown Time Lord, not because he's a Time Lord, but he's one of these people who pretty much defunks like paranormal activity, UFO sightings, and all that. He runs amok of somebody, and eventually is forced to regenerate. Mm. At the end, he's sitting at a book signing, and this is what's really weird, because I came up with this idea before David Tennant's like a week before David Tennant's.
Oh, okay.
I mean, this was weird. This is weird. It's weird. But he's sitting at a table doing a book signing in his new image, recognizes the 3 individuals pretty much powering their way through the crowd, and they comment about the dedication. All right, folks. The unknown Time Lord in both adventures is Morgan Freeman.
Oh.
Yes. Now, in the first adventure, he's there all the way through.
I like that.
Where in the second one, he's the regenerated form, but he claims that his prior incarnation was a friend of his who stole his identity while he was off taking care of something else.
That's cool. I would love to have him.
Because when I was recasting Shada several years ago, I thought Morgan Freeman, initially for Professor Crononis, I thought, no, he's too tall. Then I thought, ooh, he could be good for Skagra. But like I said, I was just doing this whole rewrite. And before Michael Richards got in trouble with his little mouth.
Yeah.
I thought,
remember that?
As somebody could have played the 4th Doctor.
Imagine that. Remember when he did that? Oh my
God.
Talk about career suicide, right?
Yes.
Hopefully they forgot about it by now, because they know.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, you just brought it up again.
But no, yeah, I mean, it was like,
yeah,
because it was. I mean, it was just perfect. I was thinking, okay, this, and this, and this. But yeah, Morgan Freeman as the unknown Time Lord in both times, but where he's the full one in the
that's awesome
episode. He's the newly regenerated form in the second. But like I said, I came up with that one a week prior to Tennant's final hoorah, and I saw that. This is just getting too weird.
Yeah. So we have some cool ideas. I'm sure Chibnall has them too. We'll find out.
Yep.
If his ideas are even better. So we'll see.
They could never be better than ours.
Oh, of course not. No. Because we're the end-all, be-all of humanity. Humanity. You ever think that, like, maybe, like, some people that with their casts funked the Smoky Buddha or some crap or whatever? I don't know, right? Like, where the hell they pull stuff out of their
generic Holy
time vortex? Yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed our We're Whovians cast. For some, they think we're a joke, but I don't think so. But we are funny.
Yes.
So we got more casts coming at you. The Everything Show is next. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye.